I believe truly you shouldn't be able to coach business unless you can prove on a balance sheet or personal financial that you have achieved a certain amount of success in said area on top of that.
And one thing that I really did appreciate the first time we met is that you didn't feel comfortable being a business coach or coaching any business stuff until you had $1 million net worth in the bank. You understand a lot of people right now are coaching and they're not doing that.
Yeah.
Can you go into the authenticity?
So that was my thing. Was this is I was in my 20s and I saw how many people were doing very well on YouTube.
Yeah.
And if I'm being completely honest, I looked at my personal hand that I was dealt, where my skill sets were, where I feel like I was gifted, and I'm like, I would do very well in that world.
Yeah.
And I really have a passion for business. So if we were to end this podcast right now and go talk about business, I could talk to you about it all night. I deeply, deeply enjoy the subject. It lights me up inside. It makes me happy.
Yeah.
However, at that time, I told myself that I had to become a liquid millionaire, cash in the bank, before I would ever go out and start teaching courses or teaching people how to make money. Well, it just was not that time. And I always say this, I made goals for 30 at 24 at a time that I was not qualified to make those goals. Because I didn't understand the pain and the things that I would have to go through and learn and achieve, and the skills and the disciplines that I would have to get to be able to put myself in that position. I thought it was going to be substantially easier than it was. And so for me, I remember thinking when I was, I guess 30, 31, it was like, why did I pick this? And it wasn't until probably 35 when I started making the videos that I understood it. And what really helped me, I believe, truly, is that because I waited, not only was I more confident when I walked in the room, when I met Rolo, when I met Myron, when I met you, I believe that these people saw that in me and they're like, this guy built a real business in the real world. It's actually legit. Let me put him on my platform. And in my honest opinion, that's why I grew so quickly. And so it's like I had all this internal growth online as like who I was becoming. So when I finally did step out and make my first video, the people that had been making videos for a very long time gave me opportunity, not because of my platform size, but because of the person I had become in the process of waiting.
Right.
And so I believe truly you shouldn't be able to coach business unless you can prove on a balance sheet or personal financial that you have achieved a certain amount of success in said area on top of that. And there's a lot of people out there now, they can buy a course, regurgitate a course, and make a lot of money teaching you business. And I don't particularly think that's the right thing to do, but that's not for me. That's for baller busters to handle, and I'll step away. So it is what it is.
Yes.
Yeah, I think a lot of guys are like just falling for that now. I guess like you obviously have like most of your audience is probably going to be guys looking up to you, younger than you. I guess how do you prescribe them on who to take the right advice from? Because let's be real, there's a lot of scammers out there. There's a lot of people pretending to be someone that they're not. How do you like maintain that authenticity, but also guide people in the right direction on who to take advice from?
You know what?
Bullshit out there.
Yeah, you know what I think is really tricky about it is that there's guys renting Lambos and there's guys that own them. There's guys that are, you know, faking a certain lifestyle or faking having certain things. And one thing I do dislike very, very much actually about the whole space and the scenario is very much a peacocking contest. And like, and look, we all have to do it to some degree. Like, you do it with the women. I might do it talking about women or cars or traveling or all these different things. But in my mind, it's like, okay, well, you're up against somebody that's faking it. At least you can show it enough where hopefully that kid buys your stuff and doesn't buy the kid that has CEO University at 21 years old.
Yo, the thing you talk about with the $1 million, I was so insecure when we first started this business. And like, you'll see, like, that's part of the reason why there's so much video evidence of me with 30, 40 girls is because I had been watching, you know, no offense to these guys, but I've been watching dating coaches for 15 years who like had never been with a 6 in their entire life, like sitting there trying to tell people. And we're laughing because it's true. It's like one of these things, like when we all look back, at that time period, you never saw these guys with hot girls. And I was like, man, it's not that I wanted to flex. It's just like, I really didn't want to be in that category.
Right.
I really didn't want to. And that's why, what was the first thing I did with Rolo? As I took him to my birthday party with 54 girls. And the first thing I did with you was took you to the bikini competition because I couldn't have people thinking that this wasn't real. And it wasn't because of me. It was because of the social dynamics that I had discovered. I'm not special. There's nothing special about me. But there was social dynamics I discovered. And then I was able to teach to other people. And because success leaves clues, when I hear you talk about putting up the buildings, and you 300 doors. Is that what you have now?
We're at 400.
400 doors.
400
Okay.
doors now.
When you explain this to me, everything from I know about success and from me talking to other people that are big into real estate, it's very clear to me that you were telling the truth. I mean, I've also ridden in your Lamborghini and stayed at your place, so I know this to be the case.
One of them.
Yeah, one of your places, exactly.
You know what I'll say? I respect Justin.
If you're watching this, I have a gift for you. Hit the link below and I will send you a private invite to my free community. And yes, it's absolutely free.